Beloved, the great truth is this. Within you lies the infinite healing power of the Spirit. Your subconscious mind, when united with faith in God, becomes a channel of radiant health and peace. Healing is not something far away. It is here, now, in your very breath, in every heartbeat, in every cell of your being. When you turn your thought toward God, when you saturate your mind with faith, love and expectancy of good, your body and mind respond with vitality, harmony and strength. Today, let us explore how you can heal your body and mind through the marvelous power of faith. Beloved, the healing power of faith is the eternal reality of your being, for faith is the very essence of the invisible life of God flowing through you now. To live in faith is to live in conscious union with the infinite Spirit. Faith is not merely an intellectual agreement or a fleeting feeling. It is a deep inner knowing, a silent conviction that behind all appearances of sickness, weakness, and limitation, there is a boundless life, a radiant health, a divine wholeness already present within you. When you awaken to this truth, when you hold fast to this inner assurance, your body begins to respond with strength, your mind with peace, your whole being with joy. The body is a servant of the mind, and the mind is the channel through which the divine intelligence expresses itself. When you allow faith to fill your mind, you are opening the door for the divine to flow through every organ, every nerve, every cell of your body. Faith is like a light shining in the darkness. No matter how deep the shadows of sickness may appear, the light of faith dissolves them, for darkness cannot stand before light. You are the temple of the living God, and His Spirit dwells in you. When you realize this, your very faith becomes the healing presence that renews your flesh like the dawn and restores your mind like the rising sun. Think for a moment of a seed planted in the soil. You do not see the roots growing. You do not witness the hidden life pushing through the darkness. Yet you know with unwavering confidence that in due season the seed will sprout, grow, and blossom. That knowing is faith. In the same way, when you affirm health, when you claim vitality, when you rest in the assurance that the divine life is now working in you, even if the evidence of the senses shows weakness, pain, or disturbance, you trust that unseen forces of healing are moving in the depths of your being. Faith does not look to appearances. Faith looks to the eternal reality, and that reality is wholeness, harmony, and life. When you view with all your heart that God's healing power is flowing through you, your subconscious mind accepts that belief as truth and begins to manifest it. The subconscious is impressionable, like fertile soil, and whatever seed of belief you plant there grows in accordance with its nature. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and sickness, you reap confusion and disorder in the body. But if you plant seeds of faith, love, and life, your subconscious brings forth health, vitality, and harmony. Faith is the water and sunshine of the soul, nourishing every seed of truth you place in the inner garden of your mind. Some may say, but I have been ill for many years, I have tried many remedies, and nothing seems to work. Yet the power of faith is not measured by time nor by appearances. The moment you truly believe that the infinite life of God is within you, healing begins. Do not struggle or strain. Faith is not effort, it is surrender. It is resting in the assurance that God is now doing His perfect work in you. Like a child who rests in the arms of its mother, safe and secure, so too does the soul rest in faith, knowing that all is well. Consider the story of countless men and women throughout history who were given no hope by doctors, who faced grave conditions and incurable diagnoses. Yet when they turned inward, when they awakened to the power of faith, miracles unfolded. Tumors disappeared, strength returned, broken bones mended with unusual speed, and the vitality of youth was restored. What brought about these transformations? Not willpower, not mere positive thinking, but faith, the quiet certainty that God's life was present, active and supreme. Faith works miracles because it calls upon the eternal truth that life is stronger than death, that harmony is greater than disorder, and that the divine within you is limitless. You may ask, how do I cultivate this faith? Begin by affirming daily, the healing power of God is now flowing through me. I am whole, I am strong, I am radiant with life. Repeat these words not mechanically, but with feeling, with quiet assurance, with deep expectancy. Speak them to yourself upon rising, throughout the day, and before sleeping at night. The repetition of truth impresses the subconscious, And as the subconscious accepts it, the body responds with corresponding health. Faith grows stronger with practice, like a muscle that develops through exercise. The more you affirm, the more you visualize, the more you dwell in the consciousness of health, the deeper your faith becomes. Close your eyes now and imagine a stream of golden light flowing from the infinite into the crown of your head, cascading gently through every part of your being. See this radiant light bathing your mind in peace, your heart in joy, your body in strength. Feel it penetrating every cell, renewing, restoring, revitalizing. Say quietly to yourself, "This is the life of God flowing through me. I live, move, and have my being in Him. I am whole, I am healed, I am free." As you practice this daily, your faith grows, and as your faith grows, healing becomes inevitable. Do not allow doubt to linger. When doubts come, gently turn your thought back to God. Say, "I cast this burden upon the Lord, and He sustains me." Remember, doubt is merely the shadow of the old belief in sickness and limitation. Do not fight it or fear it. Simply replace it with truth. Just as you replace darkness with light by turning on a lamp. Each time you affirm life, each time you choose faith over fear, you are strengthening the healing power within you. Beloved, the faith that heals is already within you, for it is the faith of God in Himself, planted in your heart from the beginning of time. Your task is not to create it, but to awaken to it, to nurture it, to let it shine. When you do, you will discover that faith is not only a healing power for the body, but a balm for the mind, a fountain of peace, a wellspring of joy. Faith is the assurance that you are one with the infinite, that His life is your life, His strength your strength, His wholeness your wholeness. Rest in this truth, believe it with all your heart, and let the healing power of faith transform every aspect of your being. Beloved, your subconscious mind is the fertile ground of all experience, and whatever thought you impress upon it with conviction and faith becomes the reality of your body, your mind, and your circumstances. The subconscious does not argue, it does not question, it accepts and reproduces what you consciously believe. Just as the soil brings forth the seed you plant in it, whether it be weeds or roses, so your subconscious mind brings forth health or illness, according to the images, feelings, and convictions you deposit within it. This is why faith is so vital, for faith is the key that unlocks the healing power of the subconscious and allows the divine life to express itself through you. When you speak to your subconscious with authority and belief, it listens. When you affirm with feeling that God's healing presence is working through you, the subconscious takes that affirmation as truth and sets into motion countless processes within your body that restore balance, harmony, and vitality. Scientists may speak of hormones, nerves, and cells responding to thought. Mystics may speak of vibrations and spiritual forces aligning with truth. Both point to the same eternal reality. The subconscious mind, influenced by faith, transforms thought into flesh and belief into health. Think of a man who constantly declares, "I am weak, I am sick, nothing ever works for me." These words, repeated with conviction, sink into the subconscious and are faithfully reproduced in the body as weakness, fatigue, and disorder. The subconscious knows no sarcasm, no denial. It simply accepts the repeated suggestion as an order to be fulfilled. Now think of another man who quietly but persistently affirms, "God's strength is mine. I am filled with vitality. Every cell of my body responds to the healing presence of life." Though at first the body may show no change, though the outer evidence may seem contrary, the subconscious begins its invisible work, reorganizing functions, renewing tissues, balancing systems, until gradually the body reflects the image impressed upon it. This is the marvelous law of mind action. Faith gives life to your affirmations. Without faith, words are empty shells. With faith, they are living seeds charged with creative power. When you unite thought and feeling, conviction and expectancy, the subconscious responds swiftly. For the subconscious mind is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen, the divine and the human. When you fill it with images of health, peace, and harmony, it manifests them in your body and mind, just as surely as the acorn produces the oak tree. Let me give you an example. A woman once came to me suffering from a chronic skin condition. She had tried many treatments, yet nothing relieved her. I told her to impress upon her subconscious the idea of perfect skin by affirming several times daily, God's beauty and harmony flow through me. My skin is smooth, clear, and perfect. Divine order governs every cell of my body. At first she felt foolish, for her outer appearance was so contrary. Yet she persisted, not allowing doubt to dominate. She visualized herself radiant, clear-skinned, and full of confidence. Within a few months, the condition cleared entirely, baffling her doctors. What healed her? The faith-charged images impressed upon her subconscious mind. Beloved, this is not imagination in the sense of fantasy. It is imagination in the higher sense, as the creative power of God within you. What you imagine with faith is not make-believe. It is the seed of reality. You are always impressing your subconscious, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Every fear, every worry, every resentment becomes a suggestion planted in the soil of your inner mind. But faith allows you to take conscious control of this process, to choose what seeds you will plant. Why plant weeds of doubt when you can plant flowers of healing? Why dwell on illness when you can affirm health? Why rehearse fear when you can envision peace? Each night as you drift into sleep, your conscious mind relaxes, and your subconscious becomes most receptive. This is the sacred time to impress it with images of wholeness. Say quietly before sleeping, God's healing power is now restoring me. I sleep in peace, and I awaken renewed and strong. See yourself rising in the morning full of energy, filled with joy. Your subconscious will take this picture and work on it throughout the night, and in time you will wake to find your body aligning with the vision you have planted. Faith transforms suggestion into certainty. When you say, I am healed, with faith, the subconscious acts as though it were already done. It does not distinguish between present or future, between imagined or real. It simply responds to the dominant belief. That is why Jesus said, when you pray, believe that you receive it, and you shall have it. Believe now, not tomorrow. Impress upon your subconscious the end result, and let it work out the details. Some may ask, but what if I doubt? Beloved, occasional doubts are natural, but do not magnify them. When doubt arises, gently replace it with truth. If you catch yourself thinking, I am sick, immediately affirm, God's life flows through me now, and I am whole. The more you practice, the more faith takes root, until the subconscious is saturated with health consciousness, and healing becomes spontaneous. Doubt is like a cloud passing across the sun. It cannot extinguish the light. It can only obscure it for a time. Keep your vision on the light of truth, and the clouds of doubt will vanish. Faith in the subconscious mind is not mere positive thinking. It is the recognition that the Spirit of God dwells in you and that His law of life is always operating. Positive thinking without faith is like a lamp without electricity. It may look right, but it has no power. Faith is the current that animates the thought, gives it vitality, and carries it into manifestation. That is why the Scripture says, according to your faith, be it unto you. The subconscious responds not to idle wishes, but to deep belief. As you go about your day, let every thought, every word, every image you entertain be filled with faith in life, in God, in wholeness. Speak words of healing to yourself. Bless your body. Thank your organs. Affirm harmony in your mind. The subconscious is always listening, always recording, always responding. Treat it as the divine servant that it is, and it will bring forth miracles. Beloved, remember this. Your subconscious mind is the workshop of creation, and faith is the master key that unlocks its treasures. As you plant seeds of health with conviction, as you water them with faith, as you guard them from the weeds of fear and doubt, you will harvest the fruits of radiant health and peace. Your body will reflect the beauty of your inner beliefs. Your mind will shine with serenity, and your life will bear witness to the healing power of faith in the subconscious mind. Trust it, use it, and let it reveal to you the wonders of God's infinite love and wisdom within. Beloved, words are seeds, and affirmations are the deliberate planting of those seeds into the rich soil of the subconscious mind. An affirmation is not simply a sentence spoken aloud, it is a declaration of truth, a proclamation of the divine reality that you wish to embody. When you affirm health, peace, and wholeness with conviction, you are impressing upon your inner mind a pattern of perfect harmony, and your body and circumstances will unfailingly reflect that pattern. Affirmations are like spiritual medicine, taken daily to cleanse, renew, and strengthen every aspect of your being. When you declare, God's healing power is flowing through me now, you are not making something happen. You are recognizing what is already true. The life of God is already within you, circulating through every fiber of your being. By affirming this, you bring your conscious mind into alignment with the eternal truth. You are saying to yourself and to the universe, I accept this reality, I acknowledge this life, I claim it as mine here and now. The subconscious mind, which does not reason or question, accepts the repeated affirmation as fact, and begins to manifest it in your body and affairs. Imagine a person who constantly speaks words of weakness. I am always tired. I catch every sickness. I am getting old and frail. These affirmations, though spoken casually, are seeds of limitation. The subconscious accepts them and reproduces them faithfully, bringing about fatigue, illness, and decline. Now imagine another person who quietly but consistently affirms, I am filled with divine energy. My body is strong and whole. Every day, I grow in health and vitality. Though the outer condition may at first seem unchanged, the subconscious begins to reorganize, repair, and restore, according to the new blueprint. In time, the body responds with renewed strength, and the outer world reflects the inner conviction. Faith is the vital element that gives affirmations their power. Without faith, affirmations are like empty shells. With faith, they are alive, vibrant, and creative. When you affirm health with deep feeling, you are not merely repeating words. You are impressing a living idea upon your subconscious, and that idea becomes flesh. Speak your affirmations with a calm, quiet conviction, as though they are already accomplished. Let them sink deep into your soul until they become a part of your inner knowing. You may say to yourself throughout the day, God's peace fills my mind. God's love flows through my heart. God's strength energizes my body. God's harmony governs my life. As you affirm these truths, you begin to feel them, and as you feel them, they become your experience. The subconscious responds not only to words, but to the emotion behind the words. That is why it is important to affirm with feeling, to let your words be charged with faith and expectancy. Let me share with you the story of a man who suffered from chronic pain in his back. He had tried many treatments with little relief. I advised him to begin affirming daily. Every muscle, nerve, and bone in my body is relaxed, strong, and perfect. The healing life of God flows freely through me, restoring me to wholeness. At first he felt resistance, for his pain seemed to mock the words. But he persisted, repeating the affirmation morning, noon, and night, especially before sleep. Gradually the pain lessened, his posture improved, and within months he was free from the condition. The doctors could not explain it, but he knew the truth. His affirmations, filled with faith, had impressed his subconscious and brought about healing. The scriptures say, let the weak say, I am strong. Why? Because words of truth, spoken in faith, create the reality they declare. If you wait to affirm strength until you feel strong, you may wait forever. But if you affirm strength now, even in weakness, your subconscious accepts the declaration and sets in motion the processes that make it true. This is the law of belief. As you affirm and believe, so shall it be done unto you. Do not be discouraged if at first your affirmations feel mechanical or your outer condition remains the same. The seed planted in the soil does not sprout immediately, yet beneath the surface unseen forces are at work. So it is with affirmations. The repeated declaration of truth impresses the subconscious more deeply each time, until at last the new belief takes root and manifests outwardly. Be patient, be consistent, be faithful, and you will see the harvest of your affirmation. Some may ask, how long must I affirm before I see results? The answer is, until the truth becomes real in your heart. It is not a matter of time, but of conviction. The moment you truly believe that you are whole, your subconscious accepts it, and healing begins. Sometimes the change is rapid and dramatic. Other times it unfolds gradually, like the dawn breaking into full daylight. Trust the process, for the law of mind is infallible. What you impress with faith, you will express with certainty. Affirmations are most powerful when used in a relaxed state, such as upon waking in the morning or drifting to sleep at night. In these moments, the conscious mind is quiet and the subconscious is open and receptive. Affirm gently, I sleep in peace. I wake in joy. God's life renews me now. Visualize yourself radiant, with health, filled with light, free from all limitation. Let the image sink into your subconscious as you drift into slumber, and know that during the night, your inner mind is at work, bringing forth the picture you have impressed. Beloved, do not limit your affirmations to health alone. Affirm harmony in your relationships, prosperity in your affairs, guidance in your decisions, peace in your soul. For the same law that heals the body can also harmonize every area of your life. Affirm, God's abundance flows to me in perfect ways. Divine wisdom guides me in all I do. Love and peace surround me and fill my heart. As you declare these truths with faith, your subconscious accepts them and brings forth corresponding conditions. Above all, be consistent. Make affirmations a daily habit, as natural as breathing. Just as you nourish your body with food, nourish your mind with affirmations of truth. Just as you bathe your body to cleanse it, bathe your consciousness with words of life, love and power. In time, your whole being will be saturated with faith, and your body will glow with health, your mind with peace, your life with abundance. Beloved, affirmations are the voice of faith, the song of the soul, the proclamation of your oneness with God. When you say with conviction, God's healing power is flowing through me now, you are speaking the eternal truth. Believe it, feel it, know it, and it shall be so. Let your words be filled with faith. Let your affirmations be constant. And let your heart rejoice in the certainty that the divine life within you is greater than any condition, stronger than any illness, more real than any appearance. Affirm truth, and truth will set you free. Beloved, there is a great truth that you must understand. Fear and doubt are the thieves of your peace, the robbers of your health, the destroyers of harmony in mind and body. Fear is simply faith, inverted. It is faith in evil rather than in good, faith in disease rather than in health, faith in lack rather than in abundance. Doubt is the denial of God's power, the whispering voice that says, it cannot be done, it will not work for me. I am beyond help, but I tell you this eternal truth. Fear and doubt are shadows without substance, and the light of faith can dissolve them instantly, just as the rising sun dispels the darkness of night. When you allow fear to dominate your mind, you are opening the door to the very thing you dread. The subconscious, ever obedient, takes fear-filled thoughts as instructions and sets in motion conditions that bring them about. A person who constantly fears sickness, who anticipates disease, who dwells on symptoms, impresses upon the subconscious the pattern of illness, and the body responds accordingly. But when you replace fear with faith, when you affirm life, health, and harmony, the subconscious is likewise influenced and brings forth strength, vitality, and peace. Fear cripples, faith empowers, doubt delays, faith accelerates. Consider for a moment how many people live in bondage to fear. Fear of sickness, fear of failure, fear of poverty, fear of death. Yet each of these fears is but a false belief, a shadow created by the imagination. The scriptures remind us, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Fear does not come from God. It comes from ignorance of the truth. When you realize that the life of God is within you, when you recognize that His power flows through you, when you acknowledge that His love surrounds you, fear has no more hold upon you. Doubt often arises because the senses contradict the truth. You may affirm health while feeling pain, and the mind whispers, it is not working. You may declare abundance while your wallet is empty, and doubt sneaks in saying, this is foolish. But remember, beloved, appearances are transient, fleeting, and deceptive. Faith does not look to appearances. Faith looks to the eternal reality. Faith says, though I feel pain, I know God's healing life is at work within me. Though I see lack, I know God's abundance flows to me now. By persisting in faith, you rise above appearances, and the truth inevitably manifests. There is a simple method to release fear and dissolve doubt. First, recognize them for what they are. False beliefs, not eternal realities. Do not fight them for what you fight, you give power to. Instead, calmly replace them with affirmations of truth. When fear arises, say, I cast this fear upon the Christ within me, and I rest in divine peace. When doubt whispers, say, God is working in me now, and his work is perfect. Repeat these affirmations with quiet conviction, and you will feel the fear and doubt melt away like snow under the warmth of the sun. A woman once told me she lived in constant fear of cancer, though no sign of illness was present. She had read alarming stories, heard tragic accounts, and let those fearful images take root in her mind. Her sleep was disturbed, her appetite diminished, her nerves frayed. I taught her to affirm daily, God's life fills every cell of my body. I am whole, radiant, and free. I instructed her to visualize herself glowing with health, to imagine a radiant light flooding her body, burning away every shadow of fear. Within weeks, her fear subsided, her strength returned, her peace of mind was restored. What healed her? The conscious replacement of fear with faith, of doubt with truth. Beloved, fear has no power but that which you give it. Doubt has no authority except the authority you grant it. The truth is that God's power is infinite. His presence is constant. His love is eternal. When you dwell on these truths, fear cannot enter and doubt cannot take root. Fill your mind so completely with thoughts of life, joy, and health that fear finds no room to dwell. Speak words of faith. Sing songs of hope. Declare the goodness of God, and the shadows of fear will flee. Another man once came to me, trembling with worry about his business. He feared bankruptcy, disgrace, and ruin. His mind was filled with pictures of failure, and his body bore the marks of anxiety, insomnia, indigestion, fatigue. I urged him to take 5 minutes, 3 times a day, to sit quietly and affirm, God's wisdom guides me in all my affairs. God's abundance flows through me, and I prosper in all I do. I am calm, confident, and secure in God's care. I told him to refuse to entertain thoughts of failure, to replace every image of loss with visions of success and abundance. Within months, his business turned around. New opportunities opened, and his health improved. His outer world changed when his inner belief changed, and his inner belief changed when he released fear and doubt. Beloved, faith is the antidote to fear. Truth is the cure for doubt. Every time you affirm health, you weaken the hold of fear. Every time you affirm abundance, you silence the voice of doubt. Every time you declare God's presence, you banish the illusion of separation. Each act of faith is like a drop of water filling a vessel. At first the drop seems small, but soon the vessel overflows, and fear and doubt are washed away entirely. Do not wait for fear to disappear before acting in faith. Act in faith now, even in the presence of fear. Speak words of truth, affirm God's life, declare his abundance. As you do, fear will wither, doubt will fade, and faith will grow strong. Faith is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Begin with small affirmations repeated daily, and you will soon find that faith dominates your consciousness, leaving no room for fear or doubt. Beloved, let this be your practice. Whenever fear arises, turn your thought immediately to God. Say within yourself, God is with me, God is for me, God is in me. Whenever doubt creeps in, affirm, the work of God is perfect, and it is happening now. In this way you train your subconscious to accept faith as its natural state, and healing, peace, and abundance flow effortlessly into your life. Fear and doubt are but passing shadows. Faith and truth are eternal light. Live in that light, and you will walk in freedom, health, and joy. Beloved, the imagination is God's gift to you, the creative workshop of the mind, the inner canvas upon which you paint the pictures of your destiny. What you imagine, with faith you will one day experience in your body, in your mind, and in your life. To heal your body and mind, you must learn to visualize perfect health, to see yourself as whole, radiant, and strong. For the subconscious mind responds more readily to images than to words, and when you impress upon it a vivid picture charged with feeling, it moves heaven and earth to bring that picture into manifestation. Visualization is faith clothed in form, and through it you can call into being the health and harmony that are yours by divine right. Consider the architect who first imagines a building before he ever lays a stone. In his mind's eye, he sees the design, the shape, the structure, and then he commits it to paper, From the drawing does the foundation, the walls the finished edifice. So too must you be the architect of your health. First see it in your inner vision. Imagine yourself walking with ease, breathing deeply, moving freely, radiating strength and energy. Hold that picture firmly and lovingly, and your subconscious will build the corresponding condition in your body. Your body is a servant of your mind, and it obeys the images impressed upon it. If you constantly picture yourself as weak, tired, or ill, your body will mirror those images. But if you visualize yourself as vigorous, joyful, and whole, the body will conform to that model. The subconscious cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined image and an actual experience. It accepts both as real and acts accordingly. This is why visualization is so powerful, because it gives the subconscious a blueprint to follow. Begin each day by closing your eyes and seeing yourself as you wish to be. If your heart is weak, see it beating strongly, sending life-giving blood throughout your body. If your lungs are troubled, imagine them expanding freely, filled with the breath of life. If your skin is diseased, picture it clear, smooth, radiant with health. Do not dwell on the problem. See only the solution. Do not picture the sickness. See only the health. For what you focus on with faith grows stronger, and what you ignore with indifference fades away. There was once a man who suffered greatly from arthritis. His joints were stiff, his movements painful. Yet he learned the secret of visualization. Each night before sleep, he would close his eyes and see himself running freely across a field, his limbs supple and strong, his body filled with energy. He felt the joy of freedom in his imagination, the laughter of health in his soul. Though his body resisted at first, he persisted in this vision. Slowly, changes began to appear. The stiffness lessened, the pain diminished, the strength returned. In time, he was walking freely. His condition greatly improved. The doctors could not explain it, but he knew the truth. His subconscious had accepted the vision and recreated his body in harmony with it. Visualization must be accompanied by feeling. Simply seeing an image without emotion is weak. But when you add feeling, joy, gratitude, expectancy, the image is charged with power. Feel the thrill of being healthy, the joy of moving with ease, the peace of mind that comes with wholeness. The subconscious responds to feeling, for feeling is faith in motion. Let every visualization be filled with the certainty that it is already accomplished, that the health you see is yours now, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. If doubts arise, do not struggle. Simply return to the picture of health, just as a sculptor patiently chips away at a stone until the figure emerges. So must you patiently return to your vision, until it becomes clear and steady. Each time you visualize, you are impressing the subconscious more deeply, until at last the image takes root and manifests in your body. Some may say, but I cannot see images clearly in my mind. Beloved, do not be troubled. Visualization is not limited to sight alone. You may imagine through feeling, through sound, through knowing. You may feel yourself walking with ease. You may hear yourself laughing in health. You may simply know within that you are whole. All these are forms of visualization, and all are effective when charged with faith. The key is persistence and belief. Make visualization a daily practice, like prayer or meditation. Upon waking, spend a few minutes seeing yourself as whole. During the day, when symptoms appear, gently replace them in your mind with the image of health. At night, as you drift into sleep, let the last picture in your mind be one of vitality and peace. In this way, you are continually feeding your subconscious with images of wholeness, and in time, your body will mirror them perfectly. Remember, beloved, that you are not creating health by visualization. You are revealing it. Health is already within you, for God's life is always present. Visualization simply clears away the false images of sickness and reveals the eternal reality of wholeness. It is like wiping the dust from a mirror, so that the reflection may shine clearly. Your true nature is health, harmony, and life. And through visualization, you align your outer experience with that inner truth. There was a woman who struggled with nervous exhaustion. She felt constantly drained, unable to focus, burdened with fatigue. I instructed her to visualize herself as a radiant being of light. surrounded by golden rays of divine energy. I told her to see this light filling her mind with clarity, her body with vitality, her soul with peace. Each day she practiced, and each day she grew stronger. The more she saw herself as light, the more she felt light. The more she imagined energy, the more energy flowed into her life. Within weeks, her exhaustion lifted, and she was renewed. Such is the power of visualization when joined with faith. Beloved, let me urge you to guard your imagination. Do not allow it to dwell on sickness, fear, or limitation. Do not picture worst-case scenarios or rehearse negative outcomes. For what you vividly imagine, you help to create. Use your imagination as a sacred instrument, a tool of healing and creation. Fill it only with images of good, only with visions of health, peace, and abundance. In this way, your subconscious will be continually impressed with truth, and your life will unfold in harmony with divine law. Let this affirmation guide your practice. I see myself whole, strong, and radiant. God's life fills me, God's peace surrounds me. God's love heals me. I am the perfect image of divine health. Say these words, see the image, feel the truth, and let the subconscious accept it as your reality. Beloved, visualization is the language of the soul, a bridge between the invisible and the visible. What you see inwardly with faith, you will experience outwardly with certainty. See health, and health will be yours. See peace, and peace will fill you. See harmony, and harmony will surround you. The vision you hold becomes the life you live. For the subconscious, guided by faith, always brings forth the image impressed upon it. Hold fast to the vision of perfect health, and let it manifest in your body and mind as the radiant truth of your being. Beloved, prayer is the golden key to health, the sacred medicine of the soul, the divine channel through which the healing presence of God flows into your mind and body. Prayer is not begging, it is not pleading, it is not asking a reluctant God to give you what you lack. Prayer is communion with the infinite, a conscious alignment of your thought and feeling with the eternal truth of life. When you pray rightly, you lift your mind above fear, above appearances, above limitation, and you unite yourself with the source of all health, all peace, all harmony. In that sacred union, healing takes place, for God's presence is health itself. When you pray with faith, you are affirming that the life of God is flowing through you now. You are not trying to persuade God to heal you, for He has already given you life abundantly. You are awakening to what already is. The purpose of prayer is not to change God, but to change yourself, to lift your consciousness from fear to faith, from sickness to wholeness, from confusion to peace. Prayer is the turning of your mind toward the divine light, and as you turn, the shadows vanish. There are those who cry out in desperation, "O God, heal me, save me, deliver me." Yet such prayer, born of fear, often delays the very answer they seek, for it is filled with doubt and anxiety. The true prayer of healing is calm, confident, and filled with expectancy. It is the quiet assurance that says, "Thank you, Father, that your healing life is flowing through me now. Thank you that I am whole, strong, and free." Such prayer aligns you with truth, and the subconscious accepts it as reality, setting in motion the processes of renewal. A man once came to me who was tormented by insomnia. Night after night, he tossed and turned, his mind filled with restless thoughts, his body weary but unable to rest. He told me he had prayed countless times for sleep, but his prayers were desperate pleas, filled with frustration. I taught him a new way. Each night, as he lay down, to quietly affirm, "God's peace fills me. I rest in the everlasting arms. His love enfolds me, and I sleep in peace." I instructed him to repeat these words slowly, with feeling, until his mind grew calm. Within a week, he was sleeping peacefully. What had changed? His prayer. It was no longer a cry of fear, but an affirmation of truth. His subconscious, impressed with peace, brought about the restful sleep he desired. Beloved, the subconscious mind is most receptive to prayer when you are relaxed, when the conscious resistance is quiet. That is why prayer before sleep and upon waking is so powerful. In those moments, the gate of the subconscious is open, and every affirmation sinks deeply within. Make it your practice to begin and end each day with prayer, affirming the truth of your being. God's life fills me, God's love guides me, God's peace sustains me, I am whole, I am strong, I am free. Prayer is not limited to words. It is also visualization, gratitude, silence, and surrender. When you visualize yourself healed, filled with light and life, that is prayer. When you give thanks in advance for healing, knowing it is already yours, that is prayer. When you sit in stillness, resting in the presence of God, that is prayer. When you let go of worry and trust the divine wisdom to guide you, that too is prayer. Prayer is every movement of the soul toward God, every thought of truth, every feeling of love. A woman once suffering from a serious condition came to me. She had prayed for years, yet she remained unhealed. Her prayers were filled with desperation, always asking, always pleading. I told her gently, stop asking and begin affirming. Stop begging and begin thanking. Say each day, thank you, Father, for your perfect healing life within me. I rejoice that it is done. I give thanks that I am whole now. She followed this advice faithfully, and within months her health was restored. Gratitude and prayer had opened the door for healing to flow. Beloved, prayer heals because it changes your mental pattern. It lifts you from fear to faith, from doubt to certainty, from weakness to strength. The subconscious mind, impressed with the truth declared in prayer, responds by manifesting it in the body. Prayer heals because it connects you with the infinite reservoir of life, and that life flows where it is welcomed. Prayer heals because it is the recognition of oneness with God. And in that oneness there is no sickness, no lack, no separation. Only wholeness, only peace, only love. Some may ask, how often should I pray? The answer is, continually. Not in the sense of repeating words all day, but in the sense of keeping your mind turned toward God, your heart open to His presence, your thoughts aligned with truth. Live in a spirit of prayer, where every word you speak is uplifting, every thought constructive, every action guided by love. This continual prayer creates a permanent atmosphere of health and harmony around you, and you will find yourself healed and sustained at every level of being. Do not limit prayer to yourself alone. Pray also for others, for in blessing them, you bless yourself. When you see someone sick, do not dwell on their illness. Affirm silently, the healing life of God is flowing through you now. You are whole and free. Such prayer not only helps them, but strengthens your own conviction in the healing power of God. The more you affirm truth for others, the more deeply you believe it for yourself, and the more your subconscious accepts it as universal reality. Beloved, let me give you a simple pattern of healing prayer. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Affirm softly, God is within me. His life is my life. His strength is my strength. His peace is my peace. Right now, His healing power flows through me, restoring me to wholeness. I am grateful. I am joyful. I am free. Repeat this slowly, feeling the truth of each word. Visualize a radiant light filling your body, healing every part, bringing balance and harmony. Give thanks that it is done, and rest in peace. This is true prayer, and it never fails. Remember, beloved, that prayer is not a ritual of words. It is the alignment of thought and feeling with the eternal truth of God's presence. Pray not with anxious striving, but with calm confidence. Pray not as though health is far off, but as though it is already yours, for indeed it is. Pray with gratitude, pray with faith, pray with joy, and healing will follow as surely as the dawn follows the night. Beloved, prayer is the medicine of the soul, and faith is the hand that administers it. Take this medicine daily, freely, joyfully, and you will find your body renewed, your mind at peace, your life filled with harmony. Pray believing, pray knowing, pray rejoicing, and let God's perfect health and peace manifest in you now. Beloved, one of the greatest truths you can ever realize is that gratitude heals. Gratitude transforms. Gratitude opens the door to the inexhaustible treasures of God's storehouse. A grateful heart is a magnet for blessings, and a thankful mind is a fertile soil in which health, peace, and abundance grow. Gratitude is not merely saying thank you when something good happens. It is the constant recognition that the divine presence is working in you, through you, and around you at all times. When you live in gratitude, you are already living in faith, for gratitude declares, it is done, it is mine, I accept it now. Gratitude heals because it shifts the focus of your mind. When you dwell on what is wrong, you strengthen it. When you rehearse your complaints, you deepen them. But when you give thanks, even in the midst of challenges, you lift your consciousness to the level of solution. You align with God's perfect order, and the healing power flows unobstructed. Gratitude is faith in action, the song of the soul that knows it is cared for, sustained, and healed by the infinite. Consider your body, that marvelous temple of life. How often do people criticize their bodies, complain about their ailments, curse their appearance? Such negative thoughts poison the subconscious and manifest in disharmony. But when you give thanks for your body, blessing each organ, each function, you send messages of love and harmony to the subconscious, which responds by creating conditions of health. A woman once suffering from digestive trouble came to me. I told her to begin each meal with gratitude, not only for the food, but for her body. Each day she affirmed, "Thank you, Father, for my marvelous body. Thank you that my stomach digests perfectly. My cells are nourished. My whole being is radiant with light." Within weeks, her condition improved dramatically. Gratitude had healed what complaint had worsened. Gratitude is the great transformer of energy. When you are anxious, fearful, or resentful, pause and give thanks. Begin to list silently all the blessings in your life. The breath in your lungs, the sun in the sky, the people you love, the divine presence that sustains you. As you do, notice how your mood shifts, how your mind grows lighter, how peace descends upon you. The act of thanksgiving dissolves fear, for fear cannot live in the atmosphere of gratitude. Anger and resentment melt away, for gratitude brings forgiveness and compassion. Even the body relaxes, for gratitude signals the subconscious that all is well, that harmony is the natural state. A man once crippled by bitterness told me, "I cannot be grateful. Life has wronged me." I instructed him to find just one thing each day for which he could give thanks, no matter how small. Reluctantly, he began thanking God for a meal, for a kind word, for the warmth of the sun. Day by day, his gratitude grew. His bitterness softened, his outlook brightened, and even his health improved. For gratitude changed the pattern of his subconscious, dissolving the poison of resentment and replacing it with the sweetness of joy. Beloved, gratitude works wonders because it impresses upon the subconscious a sense of abundance and wholeness. When you give thanks, you are telling your inner mind, "I already have. I am already blessed. I am already whole." The subconscious, accepting this as fact, moves to create conditions that reflect it. If you give thanks for perfect health, your body begins to respond with vitality. If you give thanks for peace, your mind begins to quiet. If you give thanks for abundance, opportunities begin to appear. Gratitude is creative, for it affirms the presence of the desired good now. Let gratitude become a daily practice. Each morning upon waking, whisper, "Thank you, Father, for this new day. Thank you for life, for health, for love, for the gift of existence." Throughout the day, pause often to give thanks for a smile, for a breath, for a moment of beauty. At night before sleep, review the day and give thanks for every blessing, great or small. As you fall asleep with gratitude in your heart, your subconscious is nourished with images of abundance and peace, and you awaken renewed. Gratitude must not be mechanical, it must be felt. Words without feeling are empty, but when you truly feel thankful, your whole being vibrates with harmony. Feel the joy of health, even if symptoms persist. Feel the peace of answered prayer, even before the evidence appears. Feel the abundance of life, even when circumstances seem limited. Gratitude is not dependent on conditions. It creates conditions. By feeling thankful now, you call forth the good that is yet unseen. Beloved, consider the story of 10 lepers healed by Jesus. All were cleansed, but only one returned to give thanks. To him Jesus said, "Your faith has made you whole." Gratitude completed the healing. For gratitude is the outward expression of inward faith. When you give thanks, you seal the blessing. You make it permanent. You anchor it in consciousness. Without gratitude, blessings slip away unnoticed. With gratitude, they multiply and endure. If you struggle with pain or illness, begin a practice of thanksgiving. Instead of cursing the pain, give thanks for the parts of your body that are whole. Instead of lamenting your illness, give thanks for the healing presence working within you. Say each day, "Thank you, Father, that your healing power is restoring me now. Thank you that every cell of my being is filled with life and light." As you persist in this attitude, the very atmosphere of your soul will change, and healing will follow. Gratitude also heals relationships. When you focus on the faults of others, you breed conflict. But when you give thanks for their good qualities, you call forth the best in them. A husband and wife who are constantly quarreling once came to me. I told them to begin each day by writing 3 things they were grateful for in each other. At first, it was difficult, but soon they discovered new appreciation, and their relationship was transformed. Gratitude had opened the door to love once more. Beloved, let your prayer be a prayer of thanksgiving. Instead of asking endlessly, begin to thank God in advance. Say, "Thank you, Father, for answering my prayer. Thank you for perfect health. Thank you for abundance. Thank you for peace." This attitude of gratitude is the highest form of faith, for it declares the good as already done. The subconscious accepts it, and the answer comes swiftly. Let this affirmation guide you. I am grateful now for the life of God flows through me. I am thankful now for His love heals me. I rejoice now for every day brings new blessings. I live in gratitude and I am whole. Repeat this often, and let the feeling of thankfulness fill your heart. Beloved, gratitude is the song of the soul in harmony with God. Sing this song daily, and you will find your body healed, your mind uplifted, your life enriched. Gratitude is the secret key to joy, to peace, to abundance, to health. Give thanks always, and you will live in the radiant light of God's presence, where every need is met, every wound is healed, and every day is a miracle. Beloved, one of the most liberating truths you can ever discover is the healing power of forgiveness. To forgive is to set yourself free. To forgive is to release the poison of resentment, anger, and bitterness that gnaws at the mind and eats away at the body. Many people suffer not from what has been done to them, but from what they continue to hold within them. The memory of wrongs, the sting of betrayal, the wound of harsh words. These unhealed emotions can fester in the subconscious and manifest as illness, tension, and unrest. But when you forgive, when you let go of the past and release all grievances, you open the floodgates of healing, and God's love flows freely through you, restoring peace to your mind and health to your body. Forgiveness does not mean condoning what was wrong. It does not mean saying that the hurt did not matter. Forgiveness means that you no longer give the hurt power over you. It means that you have chosen to rise above it, to reclaim your inner freedom, to align with the law of love. When you forgive, you are not setting another person free. You are setting yourself free. The chains of resentment bind you, not them. The poison of bitterness weakens you, not them. To forgive is to cleanse your own heart, to heal your own mind, to allow God's presence to flow unobstructed through your being. I once knew a woman who had suffered greatly at the hands of her husband. Though the marriage had ended, she carried the weight of resentment for years, and with it came a host of physical ailments. She would often say, "I cannot forgive him. He ruined my life." One day I gently told her, "You are not hurting him by holding on. You are hurting yourself. Release him in your heart and you will be released." She wept, for she saw the truth. Day by day she began to affirm, "I forgive him, and I set him free. I release him to God, and I am free." Slowly her body responded. Her mind grew lighter. Her health returned. Forgiveness had healed what bitterness had destroyed. Beloved, unforgiveness is like carrying a burning coal in your hand, hoping it will burn the one who wronged you, yet all the while it burns you. When you let go, when you drop that coal, you are free. The subconscious holds on to grudges when they are fed by repeated thoughts of anger. Each time you rehearse the wrong, you are impressing the wound more deeply. But when you consciously choose forgiveness, you are planting seeds of peace, and in time they blossom into health and harmony. There are those who say, "I want to forgive, but I cannot forget." To them, I say, forgiveness is not about erasing memory. It is about erasing the sting of memory. You may recall the event, but it no longer causes you pain. It becomes like a scar that is healed, a mark of growth, but no longer a wound. The subconscious can be re-educated by repeated affirmations of release, by prayer, by visualization. Each time the old memory arises, gently replace it with the truth. I forgive, I release, I am free. In time, the emotional charge dissolves, and the memory loses its power. Forgiveness is also a form of self-love. Many people carry guilt and self-condemnation for mistakes of the past. They rehearse their failures, punish themselves with regret, and thereby block the flow of healing. Beloved, you must also forgive yourself. God does not condemn you. He loves you with everlasting love. If the infinite, who is perfect, does not condemn, why should you? To forgive yourself is to agree with God, to accept His mercy, to allow His love to cleanse you. Say often, I forgive myself. I am free. God's love fills me. I am whole. As you do, guilt dissolves, and health and joy return. There was a man who came to me, tormented by ulcers. Doctors had treated him, but the condition persisted. As I spoke with him, I discovered he was consumed with guilt over something he had done years ago. He could not forgive himself. I told him to affirm daily, I forgive myself completely. God forgives me, and I accept His forgiveness. I am free. Within weeks his ulcers began to heal, for the burden of guilt had been lifted from his subconscious, and peace had returned. Beloved, forgiveness heals because it aligns you with the law of love. The universe itself is sustained by love, and when you are out of harmony with love, you suffer. But when you forgive, you restore harmony. Forgiveness is the oil that soothes the machinery of life, preventing the friction of resentment from grinding you down. Forgiveness is the balm that heals the wounds of the past, allowing new life to flourish. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the prison of bitterness, setting you free to walk in the sunlight of God's love. How then do you practice forgiveness? Begin by praying for the person you resent. At first, it may be difficult, but say, I bless you, I release you, I forgive you. God's love surrounds you, God's peace fills you, God's life heals you. Each time the thought of them arises, repeat this blessing silently. You are not doing this for them alone, you are doing it for yourself. In time, the negative charge will fade, and you will feel light and free. You may also practice visualization. See the person in your mind's eye, surrounded by light, smiling at peace. See yourself shaking their hand, embracing them, or simply releasing them to God. Feel the freedom in your heart. The subconscious accepts these images as real, and soon the feelings of forgiveness follow. Beloved, remember always that forgiveness is not a single act, but a process. Each day you may need to reaffirm your release until the subconscious is fully cleansed. Be patient with yourself. Do not condemn yourself for struggling to forgive. Simply persist. Each act of blessing, each prayer of release is a step toward freedom. And do not forget, beloved, to forgive life itself. Many blame fate, destiny, or even God for their troubles. They carry resentment against life or what it has brought. Such bitterness poisons the soul. Instead, release it. Say, I forgive life. I forgive the past. I forgive all that has been. I now embrace the divine order, knowing all things work together for my good. Such forgiveness restores harmony with the flow of existence, and peace returns. Let this affirmation be yours. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I forgive life. I release all resentment, anger, and guilt. God's love fills me. God's peace heals me. God's life renews me. I am free. I am whole. I am at peace. Say this often, until it becomes the song of your soul. Beloved, forgiveness is the medicine of the heart. It dissolves the poison of hatred. It heals the wounds of guilt. It restores the harmony of love. Live each day in forgiveness, and you will live each day in freedom. Let go of the past, release all who have hurt you, forgive yourself, and forgive life. In doing so, you will discover that the door to healing has always been open, waiting only for you to step through. And as you step into forgiveness, you step into the radiant light of God's eternal love, where health, peace, and joy are yours forever. Beloved, one of the most powerful ways to heal your body and mind is through the constant use of affirmations of truth. Words are creative. Every thought you repeat, every word you impress upon your subconscious, is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your inner mind. In time, those seeds grow, blossom, and bear fruit in your body, your mind, and your life. If you plant seeds of fear, you reap illness and limitation. If you plant seeds of love, peace, and health, you reap vitality, harmony, and abundance. The subconscious mind does not argue. It accepts what you feed it, whether true or false, whether good or destructive. That is why it is essential to choose affirmations that reflect divine truth, to water them daily with faith, and to let them shape your reality. An affirmation is not a mere repetition of words. It is not a magic formula. An affirmation is a declaration of truth, spoken with conviction, charged with feeling, and accepted by the subconscious as real. When you affirm, I am healthy, you are not pretending or lying. You are declaring the eternal truth of your being, that the life of God within you is always whole, always perfect, always strong. Even if your outer body shows symptoms of weakness, the affirmation reminds your inner mind of the truth, and in time the body aligns with it. A man once came to me who had suffered from chronic fatigue. His energy was low, his spirit burdened, his mind weary. I taught him to affirm each morning and evening, every cell of my being is filled with the energy of God. I am strong, vital, and alive with divine power. At first he felt nothing. His body still resisted. His mind still doubted. But I urged him to persist, for persistence impresses the subconscious. Within weeks he noticed a change, more energy, more clarity, more joy. His friends remarked upon his transformation. What had changed? His inner speech. The words he fed his subconscious had reshaped his reality. Beloved, your body is a mirror of your inner thoughts. If you constantly say, I am tired, I am sick, I am weak, your subconscious accepts these commands and creates corresponding conditions. But if you affirm, I am radiant with health, I am filled with peace, I am whole and free, the subconscious takes those seeds and grows them into health and harmony. Words spoken with faith are like arrows of light, piercing the darkness of doubt, carrying healing power to every part of your being. The secret of effective affirmation is feeling. Words without feeling are like seeds scattered on stone, but words charged with emotion sink deeply into the soil of the subconscious. As you affirm, let yourself feel the joy of health, the peace of mind, the strength of body. Feel it as though it is already true, for in the eternal realm of spirit it is. The subconscious responds to feeling, for feeling is faith clothed in emotion. Begin to practice affirmations throughout the day. Upon waking, affirm, thank you, Father, for this new day. I am alive with your life. I am strong with your strength. I am guided by your wisdom. As you move through your day, when fear arises, affirm, God's love fills me now. I am at peace. When tiredness comes, affirm, the life of God renews me. I am energized and restored. Before sleep, affirm, I rest in God's love. I sleep in peace, and I awaken in joy. Let your whole day be filled with affirmations until they become the very rhythm of your thought. Some may say, but I do not believe the words when I say them. Beloved, do not let this discourage you. The purpose of affirmation is to impress the subconscious, not to argue with the conscious. Even if your conscious mind resists, if you persist in affirming, the subconscious will accept it. In time, the conscious mind will follow. Imagine a gardener planting seeds. He does not say, these seeds are useless because I cannot yet see the tree. He trusts the law of growth. So too with affirmations. Plant them faithfully, water them with faith, and in time they will bear fruit. There was a woman who battled depression for many years. She often said, I am so unhappy. Life is hopeless. These words repeated daily had become a program in her subconscious, creating more of the same. I instructed her to replace those words with new ones. I am filled with joy. God's peace flows through me. I am guided and sustained by His love. At first, it felt false to her, but she persisted, speaking them morning and night. Slowly, her mood shifted. Light entered her mind. Hope returned. Peace grew. In time, the depression lifted. The affirmations had reprogrammed her subconscious, and her life reflected the change. Beloved, let your affirmations be simple, positive, and present. Say not, I will be healthy, for that places health in the future. Say instead, I am healthy now, for the subconscious responds to the present. Say not, I am free from sickness, for that emphasizes sickness. Say instead, I am whole and radiant, for that affirms the truth. Always affirm what you want, not what you fear. Speak the language of wholeness, and wholeness will manifest. Here are affirmations you may use for healing. The life of God flows through every cell of my body, making me whole and free. God's peace fills my mind, calming every thought. God's love surrounds me, healing every wound. I am radiant with divine health. I am strong, I am free, I am whole. Speak these often with joy, with gratitude, with expectancy, and let the subconscious accept them as fact. Remember too, beloved, that affirmations are not limited to words spoken aloud. Your inner dialogue, the silent words you repeat to yourself, are also affirmations. Guard your inner speech. Do not rehearse sickness, worry, or failure in your thoughts. Replace every negative statement with one of truth. If you catch yourself thinking, I am weak, immediately affirm, I am strong with the strength of God. If you think, I am afraid, affirm, I am filled with divine peace. In this way, you are continually re-educating your subconscious, replacing falsehood with truth, fear with faith, weakness with strength. Beloved, affirmations heal because they awaken you to the truth of your being. You are not a frail creature subject to chance. You are the expression of the infinite life. God's health is your health. God's peace is your peace. God's strength is your strength. Affirmations remind the subconscious of this eternal truth, and as the subconscious accepts it, the body and mind reflect it. Let me give you this affirmation of healing to carry with you. God's life is my life. God's love is my love. God's strength is my strength. Every day I grow stronger, healthier and freer. I rejoice in the perfect health that is mine now. Repeat it daily and feel the truth behind the words. Beloved, never underestimate the power of your words. Each affirmation is a seed of healing, a light of truth, a declaration of freedom. Speak words of life. Speak words of peace. Speak words of health, and the subconscious will shape them into your experience. Live in affirmations of truth, and your body will be renewed, your mind uplifted, your life transformed. For as the scripture says, you shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. Affirm wholeness now, and wholeness will be yours. Beloved, one of the deepest truths you can ever realize is that visualization is the secret doorway to healing your body and mind. What you see within yourself with faith and feeling, your subconscious mind accepts as real, and it manifests it in your experience. The images you hold in your inner eye are the blueprints from which your subconscious builds your body, your circumstances, and even your destiny. If you paint pictures of sickness, fear, and defeat in your imagination, your subconscious reproduces those images faithfully. But if you consistently see yourself whole, radiant, strong, and free, your subconscious, which is the builder of your body, brings it into manifestation with mathematical precision. Consider for a moment that every invention in the world first existed in the mind of a man or woman. The airplane flew in the imagination of the Wright brothers long before it took off the ground. The great symphonies of Beethoven were heard in the inner ear of his soul before they were ever written on paper. The subconscious is the creative workshop of God in man, and it accepts the images you impress upon it. Therefore, to heal your body and mind, see within yourself the health, peace, and vitality you desire, and persist in this vision until it becomes flesh. A man once came to me who had been diagnosed with a grave illness. His body was weak, and doctors told him there was little hope. But I instructed him in the practice of visualization. Each night before sleep, he closed his eyes and imagined himself walking in the sunlight, strong and full of energy. He saw himself climbing hills, laughing with friends, playing with his children. He felt the warmth of the sun on his skin, the joy of freedom in his heart, the strength in his limbs. As he persisted in this practice, his subconscious accepted the image. Slowly, his body responded. His health returned. His life was renewed. The doctors were astonished, but the law of mind was not. The image in his mind became the reality of his body. Beloved, visualization works because the subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you imagine sickness with fear, the subconscious makes it real. If you imagine health with faith, the subconscious makes it real. This is why Jesus said, according to your faith be it unto you. Faith is seeing within yourself the reality of that which is unseen, and persisting until it appears without. When you visualize, do not merely see an image as though it were outside of you. Enter into the picture. Feel it. Live it. If you wish to heal your body, close your eyes and see yourself in perfect health. Imagine yourself walking with ease, breathing deeply, laughing joyfully. Feel the strength in your muscles, the clarity in your mind, the peace in your soul. Let the image be alive, filled with emotion and detail. The subconscious responds to vivid, living images, impressed with feeling. A woman once told me she suffered from severe insomnia. No medicine had helped her. I taught her to visualize herself lying peacefully in bed, drifting gently into sleep, her body heavy and relaxed, her mind calm and serene. She imagined herself waking in the morning, refreshed and joyful. Night after night she practiced this. Soon the images impressed upon her subconscious. Her sleep returned, deep and natural. Her life was renewed. The power of visualization had healed her. Beloved, you must also understand that visualization is a form of prayer. When you see yourself in health, peace, and joy, you are aligning your inner image with the eternal truth of God's perfection. You are saying to the subconscious, "This is the reality I accept." And because the subconscious is the servant of your conscious choice, it brings it to pass. The scriptures tell us, "Whatsoever things ye desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and ye shall have them." Visualization is believing that you receive, and persistence in visualization ensures that you shall have. The key to effective visualization is repetition and faith. You cannot merely see the image once and expect results. Just as a seed must be watered daily until it grows, so too must your visualization be repeated until the subconscious accepts it as fact. Each day, take a few minutes to close your eyes and see yourself as you wish to be. Morning and night, let the image be vivid, clear, and joyful. Do not strain or force it. Simply relax and enjoy the picture. In time, your subconscious will take over, and you will feel the shift within yourself. Guard also the images you allow to enter your mind from without. Do not watch scenes of violence, sickness, or fear and then wonder why your subconscious produces corresponding results. Feed your mind only with images of peace, health, and wholeness. Let your imagination be sanctified, and your subconscious will reproduce holiness in your body and life. Another man once told me he was plagued with constant worry, which had begun to affect his health. His mind was filled with pictures of disaster, failure, and illness. I told him to reverse the process by consciously visualizing peace and success. Each time a negative image arose, he replaced it with one of divine order and harmony. He imagined himself calm in all circumstances, successful in his work, joyful in his family life. In a few months, his health improved, his business flourished, and his peace returned. The law of visualization had restored him. Beloved, never say, "I cannot imagine health because I feel so sick." This is the very reason you must imagine it. The body reflects the inner image. If the current image is sickness, it is only by replacing it with health that the body can change. The sick man must see himself well. The anxious woman must see herself calm. The weak must see themselves strong. For the subconscious is moved, not by the outer condition, but by the inner vision. Let me give you a practice you can begin today. Each night, before you fall asleep, when your mind is most receptive, close your eyes and imagine a golden light filling your body. See it moving through your head, your chest, your arms, your legs, until every part of you glows with radiant life. Feel this light as the life of God, healing, restoring, and renewing you. See yourself rising in the morning with joy and strength. Repeat this practice with faith, and you will discover that the life you see within becomes the life you live without. Beloved, visualization is the language of the subconscious. Speak to it with images of wholeness, and it will obey. See yourself as God sees you, whole, strong, radiant, free, and your body will conform to that vision. For the law of mind is sure, as within, so without, as you see, so shall it be. Carry this truth with you always. Your imagination is the workshop of God in you. Use it to see health, and health will be yours. Use it to see peace, and peace will be yours. Use it to see strength, and strength will be yours. For what you continually see in your mind's eye, you will one day see in your outer world, and when you align your inner vision with the eternal perfection of God, healing and harmony flow as naturally as the sun gives light. Beloved, one of the greatest healing powers you can ever awaken within yourself is the spirit of gratitude. Gratitude is not simply a polite expression or a fleeting emotion. It is a divine vibration that aligns your whole being with the infinite abundance of God. When you are grateful, you are affirming that the life of God is already flowing through you, that the blessings of heaven are already yours, and that the health, peace, and joy you desire are already present in your consciousness. Gratitude lifts you out of limitation and places you in the frequency of abundance. It turns your mind away from sickness, fear, and lack, and focuses it upon the eternal truth of wholeness, love, and prosperity. Your subconscious responds to the images and emotions you impress upon it, and gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can plant within. A grateful heart is a fertile soil for miracles, because gratitude says to the subconscious, "This is mine now. I rejoice in it. I accept it. I claim it." The subconscious then takes this emotional acceptance and brings it forth in the outer world. Gratitude transforms your mental atmosphere, and as your inner climate changes, your body and circumstances reflect it. I once knew a man who was plagued with chronic illness. He was always complaining of pain, of fatigue, of life's unfairness. His words and thoughts were filled with bitterness, and his body faithfully reflected that inner state. I instructed him to begin each day with gratitude. I told him, "When you wake in the morning, before your feet touch the ground, say, 'Thank you, Father, for this new day. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you that every cell of my body is filled with your healing presence.' Throughout the day, give thanks for every small blessing, the air you breathe, the food you eat, the smile of a friend, the beauty of nature. At night, before sleep, thank God for his love, his guidance, his healing power." At first the man resisted, for his habit of complaint was strong, but he persisted. Slowly, his heart softened. Gratitude began to flow. Within months, his health improved dramatically. His joy returned. His life blossomed anew. The healing power of gratitude had transformed him. Beloved, gratitude is a spiritual law. When you give thanks for what you have, you multiply it. When you complain about what you lack, you diminish it. Gratitude is the recognition of God's presence in all things. It shifts your attention from absence to presence, from lack to abundance, from sickness to health, and what you focus upon grows in your experience. When you are grateful for health, even in the midst of illness, you are affirming health, and your subconscious begins to manifest it. When you are grateful for peace, even in the midst of turmoil, you are affirming peace, and your subconscious begins to create it. Gratitude is faith in action. It is the acknowledgement of unseen blessings as already real. A woman once came to me suffering from severe anxiety. Her mind was filled with worry, and her body was tense and restless. I instructed her in the practice of gratitude. Each time a fearful thought arose, she was to replace it with a word of thanks. If she worried about her health, she was to say, "Thank you, Father, for the perfect life of God flowing through me now." If she feared for her future, she was to say, "Thank you, Father, for guiding me and providing for me always." At first it seemed mechanical to her, but in time the words sank into her subconscious. Gratitude replaced fear, her anxiety melted away, and peace filled her soul. The practice of thanksgiving had healed her. Beloved, gratitude heals, because it lifts your mind into harmony with divine truth. It reminds you that you are never alone, never forsaken, never without help. It connects you to the infinite source of life, which is always giving, always renewing, always blessing. The thankful heart is open to receive, while the ungrateful heart shuts itself off from God's bounty. As you cultivate gratitude, you find that blessings increase, health improves, and peace deepens. Gratitude is the language of abundance, and when you speak it, the universe responds in kind. Do not wait for great miracles before you give thanks. Begin with the small, the simple, the ordinary. Give thanks for the breath in your lungs, for the beating of your heart, for the gift of another day. Give thanks for the love of family, for the laughter of a child, for the beauty of a sunrise. As you give thanks for these, you create a mental climate of abundance, and greater blessings flow into your life. The one who is faithful in little will be faithful in much. Gratitude for the smallest blessing opens the door to the great. Beloved, practice gratitude as a healing meditation. Sit quietly each day and bring to mind the things for which you are thankful. Speak them aloud, Thank you, Father, for the health I enjoy. Thank you for the love that surrounds me. Thank you for the wisdom that guides me. Thank you for the peace that fills my soul. As you do this, feel the warmth of gratitude spreading through your heart. Let it fill your mind, your body, your entire being. You will find that your mood lifts, your health improves, and your whole life takes on a new radiance. A man who had lost his job once told me he felt hopeless. His mind was fixed on what he lacked, and he sank deeper into despair. I told him to write a list each day of 10 things he was grateful for. At first he struggled, for he saw only loss, but as he persisted, he found blessings he had overlooked. The support of friends, the strength of his body, the opportunities still before him. His gratitude grew, his despair lifted, and soon he found new employment, better than the last. Gratitude had opened the door to new abundance. Beloved, remember always that gratitude is not only for things already seen. True gratitude gives thanks for blessings yet unseen, knowing that they are already real in the invisible realm of spirit. When you give thanks for health, even while symptoms remain, you are affirming the deeper truth that health is yours now. When you give thanks for prosperity, even while money is scarce, you are affirming the truth that abundance flows to you. Gratitude is faith expressed in joy, and as you give thanks, the unseen becomes seen, the invisible becomes visible, the promise becomes reality. Make gratitude a way of life. Let it be the atmosphere of your home, the rhythm of your heart, the melody of your speech. Teach your children to give thanks, not only for gifts, but for life itself. Begin every meal with thanksgiving. End every day with thanksgiving. Let your life be a hymn of gratitude to God, and you will discover that heaven itself sings through you. Beloved, take this affirmation of gratitude with you. Thank you, Father, for the gift of life. Thank you for health, peace, love, and joy. Thank you that your presence fills me now and forevermore. I am grateful for all that I have, and I rejoice in all that is to come. Speak it daily, feel it deeply, and let it shape your subconscious. Gratitude is a healing balm of the soul. It soothes the mind, renews the body, and opens the heart to divine abundance. Live in thanksgiving, and your life will be filled with miracles. For the grateful heart is always whole, always healed, always blessed. Beloved, the final and most vital key to healing your body and mind is the power of surrender to the divine presence within you. Surrender is not weakness, nor is it passivity. It is the joyful recognition that there is a higher intelligence guiding you, a boundless life within you, a limitless love surrounding you, and that by yielding to this presence, you allow the infinite to do for you what you could never do alone. So many live burdened and heavy because they carry their worries, their sickness, and their fears upon their own shoulders. They think healing comes from strain, effort, and constant struggle. Yet the truth is that healing comes when you release, when you let go of fear and resistance, when you trust the divine within to make all things new. The subconscious mind responds most powerfully when it is free of conflict. If you constantly struggle with yourself, you impress resistance and confusion upon your inner mind. But when you surrender, when you say, Father, I let your will be done in me, you release tension and open the gates of healing. The infinite flows where there is no obstruction, and surrender removes the blockages of fear, pride, and self-will. Healing then becomes effortless, as natural as breathing, as sure as the dawn. A man once came to me who had fought his illness for years. He read every book, tried every treatment, yet his health declined. His mind was tense, his body weary. I said to him, you are straining to heal yourself by your own power, but you are forgetting the divine power that created you. The same intelligence that formed your body knows how to restore it. Stop fighting. Surrender. Say within yourself, Father, you are the life of me. I rest in your healing presence now. He began to practice this each night before sleep, imagining himself floating in a great ocean of love, letting go of all resistance. In time, his health improved, not by strain, but by surrender. He learned that letting God take over was the key to his renewal. Beloved, surrender is not giving up. It is giving over. It is releasing your fear, your doubt, your limited sense of self, and giving them into the hands of the infinite. It is saying, I cannot, but God can. When you do this, you discover a peace that passes understanding. You feel the burden lift, the struggle end, and the healing flow begins. Your body responds to peace, for peace is a natural climate of health. Your mind responds to trust, for trust opens the door to wisdom. Your whole being responds to surrender, for surrender allows the infinite to manifest through you, without obstruction. There was a woman who carried deep grief for many years. She clung to her sorrow, believing that by holding on, she honored the memory of her loss. Yet this grief weighed heavily upon her body and mind, draining her vitality. I told her, release your grief into the hands of God. Say, Father, I give you this burden. Heal me with your peace. At first, she resisted, afraid to let go, but gradually she surrendered her pain. She wept, she prayed, she yielded. And then a great peace filled her heart. The grief dissolved, her body regained strength, her mind clarity, her soul joy. Surrender had healed her more deeply than years of effort ever could. Beloved, surrender means trusting the wisdom of life itself. Just as a seed surrenders to the soil and grows into a tree without struggle, so too must you surrender to the infinite within you. The seed does not demand, does not worry, does not resist. It simply yields to the law of growth. Likewise, when you yield to the divine, you are carried by a wisdom greater than your own, healed by a life deeper than your own, sustained by a love stronger than your own. Surrender also means releasing the need to control outcomes. Many pray for healing, yet they cling tightly to fear, asking, when will it come? How will it come? Such anxiety blocks the flow. True surrender says, Father, I thank you that it is already done. I rest in your perfect order. When you release the how and the when, you open the way for healing to manifest in the best possible manner, often in ways you could not have imagined. Trust the process of the divine, for its wisdom is infinite, and its love for you is eternal. Beloved, one of the greatest ways to practice surrender is through silent meditation. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and imagine yourself surrounded by a great ocean of light and love. Say within yourself, I rest in thee. I let go. I trust thy life to heal me, thy love to guide me, thy peace to fill me. As you do this, you will feel a softening within, a melting of tension, a release of fear. The subconscious absorbs this state of surrender, and healing flows naturally. A man once shared with me that he had long battled with anger and resentment. His body was suffering, his mind restless. I guided him into surrender. Each day he would say, Father, I release this anger into your hands. Fill me with your peace. At first the anger fled up, for the subconscious resists what is unfamiliar. But as he persisted, he felt the anger dissolve, replaced by a deep calm. His health improved, his relationships healed, his whole life changed. The act of surrender had set him free. Beloved, understand this eternal truth. God's will for you is health, peace, and joy. To surrender to God's will is to surrender to harmony itself. The divine does not will sickness, for God is life. The divine does not will suffering, for God is love. The divine does not will confusion, for God is wisdom. When you yield to God's will, you yield to health, love, and wisdom. You align yourself with the eternal current of good that is ever flowing, ever renewing, ever blessed. Let surrender become the rhythm of your life. In the morning, surrender the day. Father, guide my steps, bless my work. Keep me in peace. In times of difficulty, surrender the burden. Father, I give this to you. Let your perfect order manifest. In times of joy, surrender and thanksgiving. Father, this joy is yours, and I rejoice in it. In the evening, surrender your rest. Father, I sleep in thy love and awaken in thy peace. Let every moment be an offering, a yielding, a resting in the divine. Beloved, take this affirmation of surrender into your heart. Father, I let go and let you take over. I rest in your presence. I trust your wisdom. I yield to your life. I am whole. I am healed. I am free. Speak it with faith, feel it with joy, and let it sink deep into your subconscious. Surrender is the final key, for it is the key that opens every door. When you let go of fear and yield to love, healing flows. When you let go of struggle and yield to peace, health blossoms. When you let go of doubt and yield to faith, miracles happen. Beloved, Rest in the divine within you, and you will discover that your body is renewed, your mind uplifted, your soul rejoices. For in surrender you find your true strength, which is the strength of God.